not posting videos for a little while now. Reasons are I'm setting up something for you all to speak to me even better and not speak to me for you. I'm setting up a Discord. Now the Discord's not ready yet. Obviously I still need to do some things, but yeah, it will be ready soon. Don't worry. Now, probably in the next video that I post, it might be finished and I might post a link for you guys to join. Now, let's begin this what if. This is what if Naruto had the characteristics from, gosh, I forgot the name. It's a very hard name for me. It's a very hard name for me to remember. But yeah, there's the name down in the description. I'm not going to say it. And yeah, I'm going to begin this what if. Okay, sorry for that long pause. Now let's continue. Team 8 was heading to Kakashi Sensei's location, or Team 7's location to be more specific. Now it's taking them a bit while because they are going on a guess here, and it's going to take them a while to get to their locations as quickly as possible. But yes. Now I bet you're thinking, how did Kakashi get the message that they needed backup in the middle, basically in the middle of nowhere? He summoned his dog. And now I bet you're wondering, why didn't they use the dog to basically show them the directions? While they were going on guesses, and only a few minutes after where the dog caught up with him, did they start following basically him. So yeah, it took them a few minutes, but they got there still. Now, the time they got there is... This is happening with Team 7. Team 7, Sakura is lying on the floor, knocked out. Kiba is being choked by Zabuza with his one hand while Kakashi Sensei is being trapped in a water prison. Sasuke is lying on the floor on his knees, basically panting. He can't move. As we see Team 7 but start to make their way through the mist, as I would say their sensei would spot the situation. As she would try to come up with a plan, as Naruto would also try to come up with a plan with the rest of his team. As he comes up with one plan. As he pulls out his demon shurikens, which he's been saving up, and tells his sensei to throw these, while he is transformed as one of them, just like the original canon version, but something different is going to happen. As his sensei, basically he tells his sensei the plan and everyone else, as they all smile. As we see his sensei, Team 8, with their Jonin sensei come out. She throws the two shurikens and makes the illusion covering up the rest. As I would say the other two Genin would flank the sides and go to Sakura to check up on Sakura and Sasuke. I would say Ino would go to Sakura to check up on her, and Hinata would go to Sasuke. But since Sasuke would put up the fight that he doesn't need anybody, and he can do it on his own. As I would say Zabuza would easily see through the illusion, as he would spot all the different types of massive shurikens, as he would dodge most of them, as the one that was coming for him he would try to catch with his one hand. But in turn here it had to drop basically Kiba. He throws Kiba to the other side of the lake as he tries to catch this one demon shuriken. As he states, pathetic. This is your backup? Pathetic. Seems like the Leaf Village has been getting weaker over the years. As the demon shuriken transforms. As it transforms into Naruto, as Naruto gives him a Hail Mary Rasengan to the stomach. With a boost blast that knocks him all the way to the opposite side of the lake. Kiba, well, he's been safely grabbed by their Team 8 sensei, has also been moved. Kurenai sensei, there we go. Kiba has been basically caught by Kurenai Sensei and moved back to the other side of the lake behind Kakashi. As she places Kiba with the rest of her team, with the rest of his team, as well everybody checks them up, as Sasuke still refuses to get help from a Hyuga, especially Hinata. Because he still sees Hinata as inferior to him. Basically emo Sasuke, no difference there. As we see Kakashi Sensei and Kurenai Sensei stand off against Zabuza, the Genjutsu illusion mistress of the leaf, and the copy ninja, the ninja with 1,000 jutsus up his sleeve. Well, at least at least 95% of those jutsus he cannot use. Yeah. You think you can basically take a think on that. 95% of those jutsus he can't use. And that's not me being funny. I'm serious. As we see, Zabuza is in quite a pickle, and that Rasengan did damage him a lot. Plus, it was sent to the gut, so it hurts a lot. As he states, that damn brat. When I'm finished with all of you, when I defeat you two Jonin, I'm going to cut these brats' heads off. And I'm going to make sure that orange one pays dearly for what he done to me. As I would say, female Naruto, female Naruto would say, bring it on. I'm not scared of you. As I would say that Kakashi Sensei would say, stay back Naruto. Let us handle it, and thank you for saving us. As Kakashi Sensei would thank a team 8 like basically while standing off against Zabuza, as the fight would commence. Zabuza would be pushed back because of the illusion mistress and Kakashi Sensei. They are both powerful ninjas in their own right. As I would say, when the fight was getting heavy and Kakashi Sensei was about to end Zabuza, Zabuza got eliminated immediately by a few senbon. What it looked like, as a person with a mask came out of nowhere, an Ambu. As she states, thank you. I'll be taking this rogue ninja back to I think it was the Hidden Mist. As I would say that Zabuza still had his sword, but Naruto really wanted to take the sword, but the ninja took it with her. As Naruto was bummed out by that, she's like, oh man, I really wanted his sword. If that was Zabuza, then that sword was pretty awesome. I really want to get my hands on it. As Naruto is going all weird again. As Naruto tries to as everyone, I would say his two teams would look at her in confusion. As Naruto would try to play as all fast. I just like interesting, powerful weapons. That's it. As Naruto would try to laugh it off. As I would say they would buy it. The battle would be over and they would still be taken back to the same place in canon. I think his name was, if I remember correctly, I don't know his name, but we all know, if you watch Naruto, you know where he was taken back. They were taken back to Vest by that man's family. As I would say that Team 8 did learn, like, chakra walking, because I would, like, assume they're all from, like, special families. Hinata is from the Hyuga. Ino is from the Bug Clan. And I would assume that they first would teach them chakra walking, tree walking, and all that stuff. So Team 8 would know how to do chakra walking, water walking, tree walking, basically all that. They would know basic chakra control also. Obviously, as that's it. So they wouldn't need to train in any of the things that Kakashi Sensei needs to teach his team. Like, the only reason why Team 7 didn't know this stuff was, number one, Naruto is an orphan. Sasuke became an orphan. Sakura is not from a famous village or clan, or basically is not basically from a famous clan that specializes in basically fighting or being a ninja. She's not from the Hyugas, she's not from the Uchihas, she's nowhere. So yeah, as also that's the only reason why Team 7 never knew how to water walk. And also Kakashi Sensei didn't have the time or wanted to basically bother with tree walking and water walking, even though it was a basic ninja requirement. So yeah, let's continue. The only reason why Naruto knows tree walking and water walking is because he keeps on spying on people training, especially the Hyuga clan and the Uchiha clan that used to still be alive, and some of the other clans. How they would teach their children how to water walk, tree climb, all that stuff. So he knows basic things. Also, he knows how to manipulate. He also knows how to manipulate chakra into certain elements that he has. So yeah, that's another side note, but not going too deep in it. I would say that they would be training. Teammate would be training, as Naruto would be helping Hinata on her Ryugen, trying to master whatever Hinata was trying to master in the original anime. With Naruto's help and Hinata's non-fear of basically hurting someone, because Naruto would just spam the clone. Naruto, as a female, would just spam the clone jutsu, and yeah. Now, Hinata doesn't need to go through that I don't want to hurt anybody because she's light-hearted thing, and basically work on the clones, Naruto's clones, until she becomes used to fighting somebody and basically comfortable of hurting them. That's the way they would do it. Continuing on, I would say that they would also work on Ino because he just has bugs to worry about. If Ino lost all his bugs and he only had his basically ninjutsu things that he had knew now, he would lose immediately. Basic taijutsu from the academy and some stealth and some abilities. Ino doesn't really focus on jutsus much. But the element natures of Ino is earth. I would say earth would be one of them, and fire. No, just earth and water. I would say the basic elements that Ino would have is earth and water. Hinata would have lightning and... Give me a minute to think. Hinata would have lightning and wind. It's common for people to have two, but it's not. It's very rare to find people with three. People with one, it's still common. Like, there's a lot of people. Think of it like people with one element is like 80% of the ninja population. People with two goes down to 60. People with three goes down to 40. People with four goes down to at least 20 or 15. People with five, that's 5%. That's 5% of the ninjas that has 5 element natures. So both of these teams have 2. I would say that both of these teams have 2. I was going to say that Hinata would have 3, but nope, both of them have... Never mind, you know what, I'm going to do something else. Hinata has 3. And if you're thinking, why am I changing the story on the spot? This is off the top of my head. Once again, I always do what ifs off the top of my head. I never script them, because scripting them is more harder for me than you think. Continuing. That's their element natures. Hinata would have earth, earth, I think I said wind and lightning. And Ino would have earth and I think water, I said. So yes, and Naruto would have all 5 natures, which they would discover. As I would say that Naruto would be teaching them basic jutsu that he knows. Basically, some of the jutsus like the water, like the water pistol, earth pistol, earth bullet, water bullet, wind bullet, lightning bullet. That's it. He would teach Hinata lightning ball, and he would also teach Hinata how she could basically add a, I would say, a chakra nature to a Jugen style, maybe lightning. It could work. Hinata stated it could work if she had practice and knew how she could do it, as I would say Naruto would give a suggestion and a few ideas, as Hinata would take that, basically suggestion ideas, and try to do something with it. Whether, he works with bugs, and Naruto asked a bit of questions about the bugs. Are you allowed to add an element nature to them? I don't know if this is possible, if Ino is able to add element natures to his bugs, basically making them resistant to certain elements. If he added a fire nature to his bugs, they would be resistant to fire. If he added a water nature to the bugs, they would be resistant to water. But doing that would also make them weaker to certain elements. Give me a minute, guys. Sorry about that, don't know where I left off. I think I left off with the explaining some of the training that they will be going through. Naruto explains, basically Naruto tries to basically state how basically giving Ino's bugs a certain basically element would give them advantage over certain people that basically can use that element. But because you only basically can use two elements, the other three elements are going to be basically a problem for you. If you give them water, if you give them the trait of water, then fire is going to be more of their weakness. If you give them the trait of earth, then probably water is going to be their weakness, or lightning. Water, lightning, or wind. One of the two. They'll either be resistant to a certain element, or they'll be weaker to it. I don't know how the elements, I'm trying to think of how the elements go. I know fire, I know water counters fire, earth, earth counters water, wind counters, no, lightning counters earth, wind counters lightning, fire counters wind. Then wind boosts fire, fire, oh, gosh, I'd rather not think of it. I'm rather not going to think of it too much. Let's continue. Continuing on with the what if. As I would say that Naruto would give them an explanation, but not that good of a one, and that their sensei would give them even a better explanation, seeing what Naruto is trying to teach them. As she would put in her opinion that it's a pretty advanced thing for them to learn at this moment, and that she suggests for them to learn something else other than that. But the things that they could learn, as Naruto would explain, the things that they could learn would not benefit them in any way. The thing that he's telling them now would benefit them the most because of their, basically for more power, to put more power behind their team. And they would also need to increase their chakra pool, and I would need to increase my chakra control. As she would agree with Naruto. As she also states that they need to also work on some of their taijutsu, and maybe she can teach some of them that is able to use genjutsu. Some of them genjutsu. This would be highly beneficial for, because of his long-range fighting tactics and not that highly good in close range. He uses his bugs to fight for him mostly, so genjutsu might help him a lot, and might give him an edge in a battle. As yes, Hinata also will be able to, but Nazuko, Naruto, female Naruto, would not be able to learn any of the illusion jutsus that she would be teaching. But I think I taught Naruto. I think I gave Naruto a certain illusion that costs a lot of chakra. but I don't know its name, so I'm not going to dwell on it for long. I'm just going to continue. Now, also before I stop rambling here, I'm tweaking Naruto's ability, especially his aqua abilities. I'm stating that he'll be able to take out, in my last video I stated he'll be able to take out basically V-animations in one hit. I'm not going to do that anymore. V-animation's going to put a lot of put up quite a fight, but once he's able to defeat them, nobody will be able to reanimate him for a long while. They will lose control of the reanimation, and the reanimation will head to the spirit world. He just needs to basically defeat them like any other ninja. And any basically damage he inflicts to a reanimation ninja cannot be healed. There. So he won't be able to seal ninjas in basically a single hit. That won't be able to work. Just erase that from your mind. My last video I was kind of stupid on that one, but okay. Continuing on. I would say that Naruto, they would train a lot, to the point where they would be their team, Team 8, Team 7 would go on ahead while Team 8 still slept. Whether Team 8's sleep would be disturbed by Gato's men, as a few of their men came here to basically snag Gato's wife, daughter, and son, but was stopped by Team 8, as they quickly head to Team 7 to check up on their progress. Now, it's pretty bad. What I mean by pretty bad is pretty bad. Now, I would say Naruto would not meet Haku in this what if. Reasons being because number one, he was not training alone. Number two, the Jonin sensei was there, and I don't think Haku is going to go in the middle of the open looking for herbs and try to play it off as she's trying to heal a friend. The Jonin sensei will immediately know what's up. So Haku was just playing it stealthy and keeping far distance away from them. Haku wanted to eliminate some of them, but that would risk the Jonin sensei in retaliation and chasing her down back to the base. So yeah, she'd rather not do that. Now, continuing off. As we see basically Sasuke and Kiba lying on the floor in this ice prison. What I mean by lying on the floor is, no, Sasuke standing up, as Kiba is lying down on the floor, filled with ice symbol. As Sasuke also has ice symbol intruding out of his body, but has the Sharingan activated. As I would say, Kakashi Sensei is having a rough time with Zabuza, as Haku is about to finish the job. I would say that Naruto, in basically not want to see these two idiots die immediately, would rush over to the ice prison and send a fire bullet towards the ice symbol, melting them on impact. He would use, I would say, he would use his fire barrage and basically fire on the glass that is basically keeping him from entering inside, although immersed, as he would cover Hinata and his partner's back while they drag these two idiots outside these basically cage, as Sasuke doesn't want to move. As I would say, Hinata wouldn't care and she would just drag him over even though he's basically fighting back. As now it's basically stating that telling as Sakura is still being useless as ever, as they would bring her to Sasuke and Kiba to Sakura, stating that here, keep your team here, we'll handle the Mask Girl. As I would say that their sensei, Kurenai, would assist Kakashi Sensei with Zabuza. As now I'm going to be going over the fight of Haku versus Team 8. Now, Haku would try her mirrors again, but her two team members, which is both Ino and Shino and Hinata, would basically jump out. As Naruto would be the one distracting Haku, basically being the one to take on her jutsu head on, as her team would be the ones trying to be able to see if there's any weakness and trying to destroy the mirrors from outside, as it would be pretty tough. But this is more beneficial for them in a way. You're gonna see why. As Haku is jumping from mirror to mirror, basically throwing Senbon in all directions. I would say Naruto is not quite able to keep up, but he is able to keep up. As it would get faster and faster. As I would say Hinata would destroy one of the mirrors that she saw Haku was about to go in, as Haku had to take a bit more time to enter a different mirror. She would keep on destroying the other mirrors, but every time she destroys one would remake itself immediately, as she's getting nowhere with us. Now, Hinata is a close range fighter. Hinata is a mid, close, and far range fighter. So, I would know Hinata is the mid range fighter. Naruto is the mid, far, and close range fighter, whether Shino is basically the far range. As I would say, Shino would have a better time assisting Naruto, sending his bugs into the mirror. As they would be basically, some of their bugs would be on the mirrors, basically feeding off the chakra. As I would say that both Hinata and Shino would fire off the jutsu that Naruto has learned, that Naruto taught them, which is the fire, which is both water bullet and earth bullet, as they would fire this in rapid succession. Hinata would have more of a problem because she needs to wait for chakra to fill back up again before she can start once again shooting her jutsus. Whether Shino would not have much of a problem. Why? Because he's stealing some from Hatu. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Sorry about that. I do another thing. Parents called me. Yeah, continuing on. I think I stopped at as Naruto's two teammates, Hinata and Shino, was firing basically their not like normal ninjutsu inside to try to basically hit the Moris, hit some of the Senpon, or even luckily hit Haku, if lucky. But that's not going to happen. As Naruto actually, I would say Naruto has been impaled a lot by Senbon. And if you're wondering how he's not going down by the time, because if you think of it, number one, Number one, no, in the original anime, Naruto was not alone. Naruto was with Sasuke with a Sharingan, and Sasuke was mostly blocking all the attacks and all the Senbon with Naruto's assistance. But Naruto's alone, so that means Naruto's back is open and he doesn't have the Sharingan, so his deception is slower and he's getting impaled more. How is Naruto not down? Naruto is one tough girl, as I stated in the last What If, and this proves it. Naruto probably took in it's over 60 now Senbon. It's over 60 Senbon protruding out of Naruto's body. Naruto looks like a goddamn cactus at the moment, and he's moving and he's still going strong. Even there's not a lot of blood. The wounds closed immediately. Not that much damage. And Naruto is actually enjoying this. Why? The amount of pain he's feeling. I stated, Naruto loves pain, and you're gonna see it. As Naruto is trying to hold back every time that Haku connects out. Every time Haku tries to connect Every time Haku connects a Senbon to his body to a certain pressure point, Naruto tries to hold back a moan. A hold back of moan and trying to keep himself focused on what is happening. People's lives are at stake here. As I would say Naruto would do the following hand signs. Or I would say Naruto would do a few hand signs instead. Fire style. Fire bullet. Fire bullet barrage. As before he activates his jutsu, his fire bullet barrage jutsu, he would do another hand side, fire style, flaming tornado, fire bullet barrage, as the bullets would start circling him and circling him faster and faster and faster until it basically makes a small tornado and of flames as Naruto is in the center. The ice starts melting slowly as these flaming bullets start ricocheting out of the flaming tornado and hitting every direction, also coming in contact with Haku's basically Senbon, as Haku had to speed up his jutsu and make it stronger, adding more chakra to it. But Shino's bugs weren't helping anything, because Shino's bugs, the more chakra she applied to her jutsu, the more Shino starts sucking the chakra more and applying it to himself, and using some more jutsu. As we skip to Kakashi's and Kunai's fight, as Kakashi and Kunai are fighting Zabuza, as Zabuza is boasting how Haku will kill all those children, all those genin, and come here and assist him soon, as we see basically out in the distance on the bridge, they see a fire tornado. As this fire tornado starts raining flaming bullets everywhere, as it also affects Kakashi Sensei's and Kunai's fight, basically hitting Zabuza a few times as he needed to use his sword to block some of them. Kakashi Sensei needed to whip out his Sharingan because there were so many of them, as he needed to basically go into the defensive and try to block some of them. Kunai, well, she did get hit by some of them, she was a bit fast, and she took cover behind a tree. Not that effective because the tree can light and burst on fire. But the fire was keeping in range of the water, and the bullets don't seem to ignite any plants and anything on fire. So yeah, as Naruto states, time to make my jutsu a bit more deadly, as he's not even using a lot of his chakra, because his chakra is refilling so fast that even if this jutsu takes a lot of chakra, it's refilling so fast that basically he's not scratching the surface of his chakra pool. As he does a few hand signs again, as he does one-handed hand signs and connects it with his other hand that has already a hand sign, stating, as he states, ricochet, as he states, flaming tornado, bullet, rain, ricochet, as now each bullet that basically, as now the bullets start ricocheting three times before the bullets disappear, as it just became more deadly. Sorry about that, guys. Dogs, you know how they be. As this is much more dangerous because now Hinata and Shino had to back off for a minute, as they had to focus on protecting the three, or the team that's incompetent of protecting themselves. As I would say that Hinata they would take them to a safe distance as they wouldn't enter the reign of terror that Naruto is reigning. Haku's jutsu would automatically be broken at this point and Haku would need to step back as Naruto deactivates his jutsu. The flaming tornado would dissipate as Naruto would be gone. As Haku didn't notice and Naruto did a substitution. As when he did a substitution, he basically substituted behind Haku. As Naruto prepares a Rasengan and then shoves it in basically Haku's face, destroying the mask, blowing Haku back. As I would say while Naruto did this, Naruto made a clone at the same time with the substitution, as the clone prepares a trap. The trap is with ninja wire. As the clone pulls back both of his hands, as the ninja wires wraps around Haku, basically tangling her up and keeping her down. As Haku is officially tied up. As Naruto states, yes, got you, I got you now. Nowhere to run. As Zabuza's fight continues. I would say in Haku's final struggle she would try to get up, but end up failing. That means that she can't technically get up and save Zabuza from Kakashi Sensei's Chidori. But I would say the one who would actually save Zabuza would be Kurenai, for unknown reasons. Kunai states, Kakashi Sensei, I think that's enough for now. As Shoot states, he's already tired. We can wrap him up, chain him up, and take him to the Leaf Village for interrogations and maybe learn some things about him, or maybe about the village, depending. As this is a new thing, and I bet you're wondering, why would Kunai Sensei do this? Why would Kunai even do this? Spare a person. Well, number one, it's because of Nezuko. Nezuko asked Kunai not to kill them. Not to kill the man. Not to kill the man with the big sword. For some reason. I would say it was more of Naruto's. Basically, Naruto would ask Kunai to do this as a more of a promise to a teacher to student. As Kunai stated that she would try not to kill him, but she'll make no promises. If Zabuza dies, he dies. She can't promise Zabuza's life will be safe. As Zabuza would ask the question, why? Why would you save me? Why would you spare me? As Kunai would answer, because one of my students asked me to, and she basically begged me. I don't know why, and I asked her the question, why would you want to spare a ninja like that? An S-rank ninja that's probably killed thousands. As we flash back to Naruto, or Nezuko. Naruto, Nezuko, yeah, female Naruto, or Nezuko. As we see Kunai asking the same question to Nezuko. As Nezuko states, I don't know. I don't see an S-rank ninja. All I see is a person that did it to survive. If you are in the same situation, and you are hunted down by your village, would you kill? You would kill everybody and anyone just to survive, and even use a little girl as your tool. The strong survive, and the weak fall. Is that how it works? The strong prey on the weak, right? He is just the same. He's been hunted down by his village, and everything he'd done so far was just him trying to get by and survive. So at least spare him, so I can ask him something. As Zabuza hears basically what she told Zabuza of the conversation she had with one of her students. As Zabuza says, your student's an interesting one. A very interesting one. As we would see Nezuko walking into the battle with Zabuza. As I would say that both Kurenai Sensei, Kakashi, and Zabuza would be surprised at what they see. They see Naruto covered in Sycamore 150 Senbon. 150 Senbon, as he is busy dragging Haku basically by her clothes. Haku's a girl in this one. Dragging Haku by her clothes as basically a scene of Naruto is like a cactus now. Or a porcupine. There are a lot of needles on him. It's basically the scene, he's basically like the six paths of pain. How Pain has all those metal poles protruding from him. But instead of Naruto's situation, it's basically small, thin ice needles. As he is walking, basically bloodied. As he is still standing. As not even Kakashi can say how Naruto is still standing after how many Senbon is inside him. Basically, Haku has given up the accuracy and just gave into the sheer numbers. Reason why is because she basically tried to take Naruto down by hitting the weak points and the specific points to shut down the body, it didn't work. The needles didn't go deep enough, as she gave up the accuracy for just sheer numbers and sheer basically speed and strength, and how deep the Senbon could go. And these Senbons are deep in Naruto, and she's still walking in state. Thank you, Kurenai, for keeping the promise that I asked. Now then, I believe this is your student, right? As Nezuko would say, as she is panting heavily, as you can see a slight blush, but it's very slight and no one notices. They are still shocked at how many Senbon is sticking out of Naruto. As Kakashi Sensei would break out of his stupidness and state, Naruto, you need to rest. Sit down so we can remove the Senbon. You moving like this at the state you are is dangerous. Your life could be in danger. As she would say, no it's not. I feel fine, Kakashi. Just a bit. As she basically holds back her tongue, saying a wrong word. As she was about to say a wrong word, as she says, Zabuza. I know. I'm gonna take a guess that you're a missing ninja, correct? As Naruto would ask Zabuza a few questions about his life, as I would say Zabuza would break out of his stupidness and answer. As I would say Naruto would ask that Zabuza would come back to the Leaf Village. Reasons being because number one, Naruto would basically Naruto wouldn't want to basically kill somebody that just did this to survive. So he wouldn't want to kill a person like that. So he's giving Zabuza the option of coming to the Leaf Village. Or he's giving Zabuza the option to get killed by both of his senseis. As he also states, if he comes back to the village, he won't be a missing ninja anymore, and she believes that she can vouch for him to the old man, him and his student. If Naruto is right and they are what he thinks they are, basically good people. As I would say, Zabuza would state, why would I trust you? As while they are talking, Gato's men would arrive, telling them that they should kill everyone here and basically kill the children as well. As also kill Zabuza and his student. As Zabuza would state, kid, I think I will take your offer. But after I deal with these weak, pathetic excuse of a man as he pulls out his sword. As Naruto can't help but get stars in his eyes seeing the sword up close. So awesome. As it's the Jonins versus ninjas. As I would say, Naruto would be with their team. Team 8 would basically take Team 7's mostly unconscious people. Sakura's not unconscious. Sasuke fell unconscious. And Kiba's unconscious. And yeah, and the Builders also there. So yeah, as the Jonins would fight. I would say some of the ninjas would get past the Jonin and rush to the children. As I would say none of the Hinata and Shino didn't notice these guys, but Kurenai did, as Kurenai would scream out to basically watch out, as one would be heading for Naruto. As Naruto would just dodge. Not even knowing that the guy was there, he would just dodge. He would just move his head and miss the guy, as he would basically clock the other guy in the face. Being quite strong for a person her age, yes, this would be a very painful punch. As Naruto would do a few hand signs, one hand sign tag, basically seals, or a one hand sign, basically jutsu, few of them, like say now 3, as he would point his hand in a gun and basically fire a fire bullet that I wouldn't say they are killing the guy, so he would kill the guy, as he would be too tired to move. As yes, everything goes on, Zabuza kills Gato, everything. As Zabuza asks the question, "Kid, you have how many Simbons sticking out of you? Are you sure you're okay?" As Naruto states, "Yeah, I'm fine. It does hurt a bit, but yeah, I'm okay." Zabuza would be like, you're one tough cookie. If you're one tough cookie. If you're able to take that much pain, I'm pretty impressed. Not even I am able to take that much pain, but I'm pretty impressed. As I would say Zabuza would notice the sword that Naruto wasn't using. Naruto didn't use his sword, he was just using a kunai. As it states, "You know Kenjutsu?" "No, I'm only practicing it now." As Zabuza would say, "Okay, when all those symbols are out of you and you don't look like a porcupine, and also you're fully rested, then I'll probably teach you some Kenjutsu. Think that will work, kid?" Yeah, as Naruto would get stars in his eyes stating, "That would be perfect." And also, can I see your sword?" As Naruto would basically be poking his fingers together stating, "Can I see your sword?" As I would say, Zabuza be like, sighs and states, "Sure, kid, here we go." As he would give this heavy sword to Naruto. As he would say, "Just be careful, it's very..." As Naruto would pick it up with one hand. Stating, "Huh, it's pretty light." As I would say, all three Jonins would just look at this kid, be like, and I was like, "Okay, I've had it. What's this kid on? Who's this kid's son? Who's this kid's father? And what is this kid on?" As I would say that Kakashi Sensei states Naruto's an orphan, doesn't have parents, and we don't know either. As Zabuza states, "Is all the Leaf Village children like this? Because if is all the other children in the Leaf Village like this? Because this is just ridiculous." As I would say that everyone would stare at Naruto in a weird way. As Naruto said, "What? Did I do something wrong?" As Naruto would be thinking in his head, "Oh god, I did something wrong, didn't I? I made a weird noise. No, I probably showed that I like pain. No, they can't know about it. They can't." As that's not the weird. As Naruto is basically panicking inside that they know her secret, that she's basically panicking. As I would say that Naruto would basically look at it. As he would sit down on a log while Kurenai Sensei pulls out the Senbon with Kakashi Sensei's assistance, one by one off of her back. One, two, as they are busy counting this one by one. As while they are pulling basically Senbon out, Naruto is trying to hold back a painful moan because why? The Senbon are pretty deep, and every time they pull out one, blood, basically a small split of blood comes out, or basically the needle from where it has been embedded is covered in blood. So yes, they're pulling this out one by one. And Naruto is, I would say, has a small blush, trying to hold back her inner monologue and trying to say everything in her head and not out loud. As they finally remove all the Senbon, with a final count of how much Senbon there were actually in her body, 160. Senbon was embedded in Naruto or Nezuko, and she was still standing. They didn't embed her in the chest area, if you're thinking. That's not where they embedded her. They only embedded her somewhere near her legs, somewhere near her back, somewhere near her kneecaps, shoulders, elbows, but nowhere near her chest because that's where she was blocking the most. Also, some places on the neck and maybe the back of the head. But yeah, All Senbon are off with a final count of 162 Senbon. Impressive. Give a round of applause for Naruto or Nezuko, because that's impressive. I would say that Zabuza would basically, after Haku would wake up, Zabuza would state what they are going to do and what Naruto has offered. As I would say Haku would smile, and she would go up to Nezuko and say, "Thank you. Thank you for giving them a chance, and for not killing her master." As Nezuko would say, "No problem," and just gives a thumbs up. And then Haku would ask the next question. "How are you so durable, and how much Senbon did you take of mine and still not go down?" As I would say, Kakashi Sensei would be in the background and yell out 162 Senbon. As I would say, it's the whole funny scene here. It's a funny scene here. As Haku is basically grabs Naruto by the collar, starts shaking Naruto left, up and down while yelling, "How the hell did you take 160 Senbon and not go down? That's not physically possible. That's not medically possible. You should have been dead long time ago." As Haku is basically shaking Naruto up and down, as Naruto is stating, "Please stop shaking me. I don't know how I did it." As Haku is also complaining about, "How much pain did you feel? Did you even feel any pain? What are you, a walking monster?" As Naruto is still saying, "I still don't know that," as Naruto is getting dizzy. As I would say that Haku eventually stops shaking Naruto and crosses the arm, stating, "Well, you're gonna need to explain that to me later. And later we'll have a rematch." As Naruto drops to the floor of dizziness, stating, "Okay, we'll do that." As you get that whirling eyes and weird look of Nezuko. As, yeah, that's the end of this What If. A quite eventful one, and we also see the full potential of how durable Nezuko can really be. And also how her healing factor is. Because I've also forgot to tell you that while they were pulling out the Senbon out of Naruto, her wounds were healing instantly. So yeah, her healing factor is incredible. So is her durability. Now, that's it for this What If, guys. Until the next What If. Also, quick statement. I am working on my Discord. So maybe in the next video, or I'll make a video about my Discord and I'll leave the link down below. I'll also mention in some of the videos the rules of the Discord that you have to follow at all times. Because if you don't, I am the owner of the Discord, so I have the power to ban people. And I swear to you, if you don't listen to these, I swear, if you don't listen to these, basically cooperate with the rules, then I have no choice to ban you. Depending on how much times you did it, will depend on how long you will be banned from the Discord statement. Also, the Discord is also an easier way to get in touch with me and speak to me and give me suggestions about other what ifs and other ideas that you want to mention. And it's also an easier way to just speak with me in general. Also, hang out with me there. I'm mostly on Discord because I'm going to be mostly on Discord because certain things, or I'm just busy doing something else. But yeah, that's it for this What If, guys. Soon the Discord link will be coming out, probably next video. And yeah, until next time, guys, bye.